Hey guys, and welcome back to another Football Manager 24 video. Today we're going to find out if the level of the league you send your loan players to actually matters for their development. What I have done is I've created 6 identical players, all with names to which league they are going. So as you can see, there are 6 players here. First up, we have the League 2 striker who is going to Crawley in League 2. Next is the Vena League. This striker is going to Sutton in the Vanarama League National to see how he can develop right there. Then we have also created the Championship striker who is going to Rotherham in the Championship. And we also have the League 1 striker who is going to Cheltenham in League 1. And then of course we also have the club striker who is going to stay in Liverpool, and we're going to be playing him all of the games to see how he can develop while just being at our club. After that, we also have a player who's very important for this playthrough, because of course we have the club striker who's going to be staying at the club and going to be playing through the youth ranks, but we also have the Premier League striker, and the Premier League striker is a striker that's going to play all the games for our first team, and we're going to see how this guy can develop. We've put him at the striker position. He's going to be playing all the games, and we'll see how this guy develops while playing all the games in the first team. And last but not least, we have the league striker who's starting his journey at Kidderminster in the Vanarama National League. But this guy is a little special. Whenever this guy reaches the current ability of a league that he can play in, so for example if he improves enough that he can play in League 1 or in League 2, we are going to move him there. Then if he's able to play in the Championship, we're going to be playing him there. And then last but not least, when he can play in the Premier League, we are going to move him to a Premier League club. Now you might think to yourself, that's not fair, because all these teams, they all have different training facilities. But what I have done is every team that the players are going to has the same facilities. So as you can see, Cheltenham here have 15 training facilities, and the same probably goes for Sutton, who also will have 15 in all the facilities to make it a fair fight for all the youngsters. Another thing that I have done to make this a fair fight is to remove all the competition that these players have at their clubs. So for example, for the Championship striker, if we go to Rotherham, you see that all the good strikers have actually been removed. So only our Championship striker, so our loanee, can really play in that striker position, and hopefully the game recognizes this and will play him a lot. The last thing I wanted to show you are the hidden stats of the strikers. If we for example go to striker 2 and then click on the FM in-game editor, edit player details, and you can see that all their hidden stats are 10 except for injury proneness. We do not want our players to get injured, otherwise the experiment doesn't work. After all that said and done, we'll be now simming forward exactly 1 year to see how these strikers have developed and which one actually stood out. So I'm just going to sim and going to see you in a blip. After 1 year of simming, we are back, and this is how our youth players have developed. As you can see right here, the current ability of all the players is here under CA. Then the potential ability is all the same with 200, and the total appearances that they've made are on the left side with the goals on the right. What's clear to see is that the players who've played 40 plus games all developed a lot better than the ones who didn't play any games at all, or who played a very low amount of games, which is very interesting to see, because the Championship striker did only play 22 games, but he did play at a much higher level than the other strikers. Other than that, you can also see that the Premier League striker played at the highest level, played the most games and almost scored the most goals, but didn't improve as much as the Vanarama League striker. Of course, injuries could have played a very big part in that. The next step is that I'll be swinging forward 2 years into the future to see how the strikers have developed. But of course, the teams that the strikers are playing could get promoted or demoted. For example, as Vanarama League striker was playing for Sutton, they got relegated to the Vanarama South so we are going to have to find another club where this striker can go to. I will check if the teams are still playing in the right leagues. If not, I will move the loans for our players to a respective club in that league, and I'll be simming forward another 2 years, and I'll be back to you after simming forward. Here we are back after 2 years of simming, and our strikers are 19 years old, so let's check out how they did and what their current ability is looking like. This is what all the players are looking like if you look at their current ability. What is very interesting here is that our Vanarama National League player actually has the high current ability out of all players, and our Premier League striker has the lowest. This could mean that at a young age it's way more beneficial for a player to also have training instead of only games, since our Premier League striker is also playing in Europe. I expect that the longer we go, the harder it's going to be for the strikers on lower leagues to improve themselves. Since they are playing against lower level competition and in a lower level league, they might not reach the potential of 200 while the Premier League striker does, but will take a little bit longer to get there. What I'll be doing now is I'll be simming forward another 3 years into the future to see how our strikers develop. Every year once again I will put them into a club in their respective leagues and see how they can develop. If before you didn't understand how the league striker works, if we click on him now, he started in the Vanarama National, then to League 2, then to League 1, and this year we're going to be loaning him out to a club in the Championship. I will be adjusting all the strikers once again so they will be playing in the right leagues, and then simming forward another 3 years, so I will see you after the sim. We are now 3 years later in 2029, and this is what the stats of our strikers look like. What's very interesting to see is that our Premier League striker, the guy who played at the highest level, doesn't even have the highest current ability. What we also see is that the Vanarama League striker stopped really improving a lot, so he's now kind of stuck at a 155. My guess why the league striker is doing the best is because he can rise through the leagues very quickly, from the Vanarama National to the League 2, League 1, Championship and the Premier League right now. So I think because he doesn't play a lot of games, but he does rise through the ranks, he's getting the right amount of playing time plus training to develop the best. Currently our strikers are 22 years old. So what I will be doing is I'll be simming forward another 3 years until these strikers have really reached their peak. In those years we can see if they are still improving or if they've stopped improving, for example if they're not playing at a high enough league such as the Vanarama National League striker. I will sim forward another 3 years, I will put all the strikers in their respective leagues and we will see who develops the best and what is the actual best way to loan out your Wonderkids. After not 3 but 4 years simming forward, you can see that these are the final results. What I've looked at is that Vanarama League, League 2, League 1 and Championship striker haven't really improved in the last 3 years. Their current ability will stay the same because they can't move to a higher league and their training facilities every year keep being at a 15. However, when you are looking at the league striker and the Premier League striker, you still see them improving every year. However, it does look like that the league striker has finally reached his potential, what he can reach with just the 15 training facilities. What's funny about this is that the Premier League striker has played at the highest level all the way. And the league striker came up through the leagues and he could develop a lot better than the Premier League striker who was playing at the highest level all the time. At the end of every season I wrote down the current ability of each player in this Excel sheet to check how much they were developing every year. So let's jump into the datasheet. So as you can see right here, the club striker, the Vanarama League striker, the League 1 striker, the Championship striker and the League 2 striker suddenly stopped developing after the 6th season. This was because they had reached the max potential they could reach playing in their league and with the facilities they had all at 15. However, the players that were playing at a higher league, for example the league striker and the Premier League striker, they kept on developing because they were playing in a higher league and they also had the same training facilities as the other strikers. And what I've just said can also be shown in this chart. As you can see, the 5 strikers that we just talked about in the lower leagues, they couldn't develop at some point anymore, they just all stayed the same. However, since the Premier League striker and the league striker were playing at a higher level, they could still improve. The league striker has improved the most, so we can conclude that you always need to loan out your players to the right level and make sure that they also get enough playing time while also being at a club with good training facilities. What's also very important in this is that your training facilities need to be state of the art for your players to reach their max potential. As you can see right here, the league striker, he's at 190, but he's not going to improve anymore because the training facilities were only at 15, which I think in game is excellent. From this experiment we can conclude 3 simple things. Number 1 is to always loan out your players to a league which matches their level, so nothing above or nothing below. Number 2 is always loan out your players to clubs with great training facilities, because if the training facilities aren't at their level, at some point they will stop developing. And number 3 is not only game time at a high level matters, training also matters a lot. As you could see in the early years from the Premier League striker, he didn't get going, and the league striker had a joyful time just improving and improving and improving. So make sure that with development you don't just focus on only playing games, but you also let them train so they can improve their skills in the training. And with that, we've come to the end of the video. If you've liked the video, please don't forget to leave a like down below and subscribe if you want to see more. Also let me know down in the comments what you think of it. If you agree or you don't agree with the conclusions that I've made, please let me know. I love to have your feedback. Once again, thanks for watching, I hope you've enjoyed, and I see you in the next video.